Well, hello, friends. Welcome to Memory Slot A podcast, where we talk about games news, and all things about games. My name is Chris, and I am joined here with MarC with a C.
Hello there.
MarC with a K.
Howdy doody.
And Rob.
Oh, hi there.
Yeah, and we're happy to be penetrating your ears. This
Thanks.
Obviously with consent.
Yep.
Awesome start. Excellent.
Respectfully, consensually penetrating it.
Very good and great.
Yeah. So as we penetrate your ears, we would like to. We'd like to. I'm sorry. We'd like to kick it off with some, I guess, some Game Awards stuff this week, since we have a lot to say on what happened with Jeff Keighley and his homies. What you guys say? What you saying?
Yeah. The Game Awards was the Game Awards was good this year. I remember not really being that into it the past few years, but this one was pretty fun. Like, there was a lot of good reveals and stuff. I felt personally justified in liking God of War because it won Game of the Year. We all watched it together and we live streamed it. But I guess I'm wondering, what did you guys think? What were your general thoughts?
Well, I had an excellent time. It was actually, you're right. Like, I definitely feel a lot more invested in this year than I have in previous years. And I think it also makes sense considering, I may be wrong here, but the show itself felt a little longer than it did last year too.
It was very long.
For
I
mixed
think
reasons.
it was unnecessarily long.
Yeah, that's true. It was like 3 hours plus pre-show.
I think we can also I think there's also a case that can be made against the Devil May Cry part.
There's a very.
You mean Devil Trigger? That was my favorite part.
Devil Trigger. Jeez.
So if you don't know what was going on, Devil May Cry, they had some stuff about Devil May Cry, but then they had a band a metal band come on stage and just play this metal song, and it was so out of place. You just need to watch it to really understand.
The music performances were really good throughout the whole night, except for that one.
They had Red Dead music, and I thought that was really awesome.
I'm glad you brought up music and Red Dead, because I gotta offer an apology, because during the course of our stream, I was being very negative.
Yeah, he was
very negative.
Yeah, he was. I was actually going to bring that up, MarC, because I was going to bring it up because this is what happened during the stream. The whole time, fucking Red Dead is winning award after award, and MarC's just like, oh, fucking come on, like, and then they win the award for, like, best music or whatever, and he's like, that's fucking bullshit. And I was like, MarC, have you listened to the music? And he's like, no, but, like, and I was like, no, dude, listen to the music. The whole time throughout everyone's speech, you guys were talking over everything that was happening. The Red Dead music comes on, everyone's fucking silent because it's so beautiful. And I was like, listen,
you know, I can eat my words. I can eat my words. It was a great performance, but listen, that was one of the few races that I had a horse in, and I still truly believe that Octopath got robbed, but
hey, look,
we'll save that for the
never look. All I'm saying is
another podcast
for the Octopath got robbed podcast.
All I'm saying is never put your backing on a JRPG winning an award ceremony, because you'll never win that.
Where's your faith?
Listen,
Rob?
listen.
Not with that kind of attitude.
You know what? I can dream, right?
You can. No one's stopping you from dreaming, MarC. You can dream.
I was very surprised that it didn't win Game of the Year, though, after winning all of the stuff that it did.
Honestly, so were we.
Yeah, that's true. I really was expecting
nice surprise. It was a nice surprise to see God of War win, because I think we mentioned this before on a previous episode that people, or like it was possible that people would be like forgetting about God of War being really good because it came out such a long time ago compared to Red Dead. Obviously, Red Dead was out like what, 2 months ago, less than that maybe.
Red
And
Dead?
yeah, Red Dead 2
Has it been that long?
I think
Well, it's October. It's like the end of October, right?
Yeah.
It's like
We're
a
in
month
December- we're in
and a
December right
half.
now.
I'm getting old. Jesus Christ. 2 months go away like that? That's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I know. But
Sorry, go ahead.
God of War was, I don't know, probably like last winter or something, maybe like February or March would be my guess. So it's like been quite a while, but it was cool to see it win, and it won like best direction too, which I honestly thought that would be the one that it was like I was confident in it winning because it had that whole single camera shot thing going for it. I felt like they weren't going to pass that up. But yeah, happy about that. But
A
Red
lot
Dead
of
did
reveals.
win a whole bunch of stuff too, which it deserved. That performance was fucking really, really good. There was a lot of other good stuff shown too. I think like
A lot of world premieres.
something we're all really hype on after seeing it was the Outer Worlds trailer. So that's a new Obsidian game. And Chris, I know you've been like researching it and finding a new Fallout adjacent thing to get hype in because of obviously the disappointment of 76. So what's going on with it?
Like our first reactions during the live stream, at least Chris, I recall you saying it was Fallout meets Borderlands. Do you still stick by that, or have you gone further? So what are your views on it now?
My views.
That was your very quick take. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's like what I think it looks like, but I don't think it has a lot of Borderlands like influences. So with the Outer Worlds, it's obviously Oblivion. Not Oblivion. You got me saying Oblivion. Who said it was?
Sorry, that was me.
It's Obsidian's new game, and Obsidian made games like Fallout New Vegas and stuff like that. And it's really funny because I follow so many YouTube like Bethesda YouTubers because of my, past history of just being a Bethesda fanboy, and all of them have jumped off of the 76 wagon and onto the Outer Worlds wagon. It's just like videos galore about what this game is, and it's cool, man. I'm really excited. It's essentially Fallout New Vegas, but better and new age.
It's a spiritual successor.
Absolutely.
It's what Fallout should have been.
Absolutely.
Or at least the spirit of what Fallout should have been, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. And like it's not only like Bethesda people that are saying this now. Like if you search the Outer Worlds, you get articles from like Forbes and like all of these places being like, "Oh, what Fallout should have been. The Fallout we've been asking for this whole time." And it's just like, yeah, you know what? We have been. And thank you for finally listening to us.
It's cool. It's surprising how similar it actually looks and acts like Fallout though, because I watched a little bit of gameplay from it, and it does the same thing where when you talk to a person, it like zooms up on their face and they have like, like the weird facial expressions, and you have like dialogue options, and it all just looks like it functions pretty much exactly the same as Fallout does. But the shooting did look a little bit better, which is thankful because that shit is abysmal in Fallout typically.
What's super? I 100% agree, and I kind of like that they've gone backwards from like you can walk away from anyone at any time. Like, no, I like the zooming in and like being engaged in that conversation, and you have dialogue options depending on what your skills are. So like if you've buffed up your intelligence skill a bunch, you can like outsmart someone, or like your persuasion skill, you can just like trick people into doing what you want them to do. So that's very Fallout-y. But then also at the same time, I think as we're getting hype, we need to remember that this is a game being made not with a AAA budget. Obsidian was not bought by Microsoft at the point where they started to make this game, and it's not at all affiliated with Microsoft, so the money that they're putting into it is not the same amount of money that they're putting into a AAA game such as Fallout 4. So there's going to be a lot of those things missing from Fallout 4 that we loved. But from what I've seen, they've kept everything in the Outer Worlds, such as the dialogue options, such as the ability to kill any fucking NPC at any time, no matter who it is, just because you feel like it.
Yes, give it to me.
Still in the game. Like
They don't faint for 30 seconds like they do and the important ones do.
nah, the people in the game essentially were the people, like the developers essentially said, the first person you meet in our trailer is the scientist who gets you out of this cryopod to save a colony at the edge of the galaxy. And if you want, like he mentions, hey, I'm wanted by some people, so I can't go on this quest on my own. You can like turn him over to the bounty hunters and kill him immediately.
That's great.
Even though he's supposed to be like a pretty important character, it doesn't matter. You can screw him over.
Do you think it'll have like further downstream effect?
Oh,
Is
it
that how
will.
things work in Fallout games? Sorry, I don't know very much.
There's like, is there like a morale system?
There.
That there appear to be.
Maybe saying a morale system's probably not the best.
Yeah, you can have like
descriptor.
You can have standings within factions.
Yeah,
so in the Outer Worlds, there are a bunch of different factions called, like, one of them's called Spacer's Choice, and Spacer's Choice is essentially like a weapons company, but from looking at their artwork, it's like a weapons company that doesn't really make very durable weapons. Seems like they break all the time. And then you have Anti-Cleos, which is like they make all the meds and stuff and like the drugs, and mostly drugs, like actual good stuff drugs. And they're kind of like fighting each other within the game to like take over the colony or like the galaxy or whatever. And you from what's been told, you will have standings within those factions, and your armor that you're wearing will reflect or can reflect which faction you are backing at that point. So it might have really interesting implications like it did in New Vegas, where you'd be able to like dress up as the Brotherhood of Steel, even though you're not with the Brotherhood of Steel, and trick everyone into thinking you are, so that if you go into a Brotherhood of Steel hideout, you won't get shot at. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I have a lot to say about the game. I'm not going to go on forever, but it seems like it is the RPG we've all been looking for.
How long do you think their timetable is? Do they have a timetable? I haven't looked into it.
It says it's coming out in 2019.
Ah, okay.
Cool.
To be expected with 2 weeks left in 2018.
Yes.
Question though, Chris. I'm just curious. Did you like, because obviously last June in E3, Starfield got teased. Is this kind of like what you were envisioning Starfield might be like? Because this is obviously like the more sci-fi focused Fallout style game or Bethesda open world style game. Like, is this what you're thinking that Starfield might end up being like?
I think that's where the Borderlands factor kind of comes in, because this game seems a little bit cartoony and a little bit goofy in some ways. And I feel like Starfield is going to take a more serious note, since Bethesda already has the Elder Scrolls, which can be very silly, but also, you know, very magical. And then Fallout, which is just based on being silly and like comical in a dark kind of a way. So I think that Starfield's going to be more serious. But that's a very interesting comparison people are trying to make. Like, wow, so like essentially Obsidian made Starfield before Starfield came out.
It's Starfield before
you know they're going to get compared.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
1-to-1 when Starfield eventually comes out.
And I honestly, if this game does a lot of what people loved from the earlier Fallout games and giving you all that choice and like giving you the factions and like actually mattering what you do in the game, I hope that influences Starfield to be more like that, because that's what a lot of people miss from Fallout games. And from
I was gonna say
Elder Scrolls games,
you like hold Bethesda's feet to the fire, I guess.
Yeah, I listen. I already tweeted at Bethesda Game Studios saying, and I quote, "So Obsidian's the better developer now?" ? So
shots fired.
I'm throwing all the shade.
So did they get back to you yet?
No, they didn't. And Pete Hines is still refusing to talk to me on Twitter. So,
how rude.
Rude.
But anyway, I digress. I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
Plenty of other world
Yeah.
premieres went on during the Game
I'm pumped
Awards
too.
that got many people hyped, right?
Oh,
Mark,
yeah.
there was one that was showed very early on. I think it was like
Yes.
the second trailer.
So,
first or
so
second
I
trailer.
can't remember if it took place during the actual show or if
It was
it
the
was like
pre-show.
at the end of the pre-show.
I think it
Oh,
may
yeah,
have been
right.
the first reveal. I think it may have been the first actual reveal in the pre-show. It was like really early on.
So,
'Cause we're talking
so
about
it's a
what are we
new
talking
new Switch game, and it's called Sayonara Wild Hearts. And the opening tagline, I can't remember off the top of my head. A pop album video game. So
Hell
yes.
yes.
it's a very musically driven game. It seems like from the minute trailer that there was a lot of like, I don't even know, like
Rhythm oriented, I think.
it's like probably rhythm oriented, but there's like a driving like a bike along a track, but like straight. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Where-
watching
where
the trailer now.
Yeah, like you're trying to dodge stuff. You're fighting something that's in front of you, and then sometimes it'll go behind you, so you're shooting behind you. And there was also a point where it looks like you're having like fist to fist combat with another like group. So like it seems like there's a bunch of different groups in this game, but the music sounds really cool. The aesthetic is really cool. It's coming out on the Switch. I love games that come out on the Switch.
It's got an awesome
And
title.
It's the title just, I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I think it's coming out 2019. I think.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks super cool. It's dripping with style. That's for sure.
Dripping.
I'm glad to see, cool games like that go into the Switch. Again, indies are really, they're really like hitting things out of the park in the indie
Oh
scene.
yeah.
They're really doing well.
Was that the only Switch game announced? I know there was like Switch stuff, but was that the only new game announced for Switch?
The one that stands out,
I
but
think
there has to
so.
have been more. I can't remember, but
I-
that was the only one that stood out. Yeah.
I think so, because the only other thing that they really ever talked about was Smash, but I don't know.
Which we'll get to, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, we won't. We're gonna save
Will
that
we
for the
ever?
Smash cast.
We did, but let's
Is that
not
another
move
podcast?
too fast.
Jeez.
Listen, we're running deep with podcasts.
Well, yeah. That was a really cool one. A big reveal that we all knew about prior to the show was Far Cry New Dawn, I think is the name of it. If it's not New Dawn, it's something very similar to that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
So we yeah,
Not
right.
that gone.
Yeah, seriously. But that one was revealed on stage. They showed a trailer which was longer than that teaser thing that had come out the day before. And what we learned about it was, I think, a couple things. It takes place in the same world as Far Cry 5,
Yep.
like in Montana or wherever, but just post-apocalypse. I guess I didn't play Far Cry 5, so I'm not sure exactly what happens at the end of that, but I guess it's something apocalyptic. But now it's like stuff, I guess, like areas of the world are getting reclaimed by people and stuff, and there's like, as you'd expect, like settlements popping up and stuff, and people becoming leaders of those things. And it looks like we've been introduced to our new villains.
Yep.
This time it's these two women who sound very menacing, and we're
look like
beating the
twins.
yeah,
They're
look,
twins.
they could very much be twins. Looked like, I think they were beating the shit out of somebody in the trailer.
Yes.
Yes, they were.
I recall blood splatter on the face as the trailer faded to black.
Hell yeah,
Mhm.
I love
But
it.
It
It
gave
looks
me
cool.
kind of a Walking Dead season 3 sort of feel.
Very
with,
specific.
with like how the this isn't the Walking Dead cast, but the governor came through and tried to take all the stuff, and it seems like they're doing the exact same thing.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez,
Oops.
Walking Dead spoilers.
Sorry. But,
But we're gonna need to put in a little spoiler warning. You gotta cut it in at the end.
Yeah.
In post.
sorry guys.
Say I won't. I will.
You won't.
I
More
don't know.
things showing off, yeah? What you got, Chris?
I hope it's a Far Cry game that actually grabs me, because I've
Yeah.
yet to be grabbed by a Far Cry game.
Yeah, so something I said about this, I think, during the show, was like, this looks really cool and I want to buy it, but then again, I say that about every Far Cry game and I never
everyone's
actually
like,
buy it
yeah,
because
agreed.
they're actually not that exciting. They have cool setups, but they're not really that interesting games.
Yeah.
You know, and I hear a lot of people were kind of mad about Far Cry 5 too, for the most part, or at least the
Yeah, I think so
ending, at
too.
least.
Yeah, I didn't hear it was
So
that great. So
Word.
one can only hope, right?
yeah,
Well,
the
we'll
one
have to see.
thing that people did point out, I just want to add in, just to close out on this, was that there was like a lot of it just in terms of like the colors that were showing up in that trailer. I guess colors like clothes people were wearing, or just kind of like gear that people were wearing, like these bright pinks and yellows and stuff, and it looked a lot like the whole like color scheme they had going on for the Rage 2 trailers, which was interesting. So people are just saying like, oh, this is just like a better or worse Rage 2, I guess, depending on where your biases are. But if it ends up being like too similar to that, that would be kind of a bummer. I just want to throw that in there.
I'm actually pretty pumped on Rage 2. I think it's going to be really fun. Have you guys watched a lot of gameplay for it?
The gameplay looked pretty cool. It reminded me of some Doom gameplay.
Wait, hold on. Was there a Rage 2 trailer during the Game Awards?
During the game, I think we were
No.
talking about that.
Was that the one with the Danny Brown song, Mark?
There was
Danny Brown.
I think that was Far Cry. I think that was the
like
Far Cry trailer.
It was
map.
way later in the.
Hold on.
In the
Man,
evening,
wait,
way
now
later in the
I'm
evening.
curious. Hold on. I'm gonna do
It might
a
have been
weird
just like
search.
a recap trailer, but I feel like there was, because we were commenting on it too. But it was, you're right, it was like
I
way
was
later.
asleep at that point.
Oh, I think you're right. Rage 2.
Yeah, there most likely was, but again, it was very late, so I don't blame you if you kind of forgot about it too.
Or wait, hold
Rage
on.
2 looks very fun. I'm excited about
Whoa.
what's gonna happen with Rage 2.
It was
Still holding faith in the business.
Mark,
It-
you're
it
right.
wa- it
I
was?
wrong.
It's different studio.
Nice.
Oh, right, different studio, right?
Different studio.
Yeah, I'm excited for Rage 2 as well. It would just be kind of weird if they end up like stepping on each other's toes a little bit, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It seems like a lot of people are going post-apocalyptic right now, which is very interesting.
Yes,
Seems like it's the in thing right now. The difference is whether their post-apocalyptic world works or not, whether it's colorful or not.
Yeah, whether it just works. And if you're a Bethesda fan, you get the joke. And if you're not a Bethesda fan, you will not get the joke at all.
It just works.
It just works. Just works. Anyway,
The best
and then
rendering.
oh my god!
Sorry, go ahead.
So Mark had some experience playing Anthem, which is also up in the news as of recent. And Mark,
Yep.
can you talk about that?
Nope, because I signed an NDA.
Fuck. All right. Well, then moving on. Persona 5.
Wow,
Joker
all right
Persona-
Yep. All right then. Moving on then. Guess we're not stopping by. We're just gonna move right on along. Yeah, but outside of that, I think the big thing that really took the stage, and this that really like a lot of people were talking about, was towards the end of the show, like the second to last award was given out, and all of a sudden they pop up this screen for Persona 5. So Chris was asleep, but me and Mark with the C, Mark with the K were watching this, and we're all sitting there and just sort of like, well, what could this be? Because to me, I'm just sort of like, Persona 5. What else can you possibly add to Persona 5? Why would you be showing this off at the Game Awards? And the one thing none of us expected was an addition of Persona 5's Joker to Smash Ultimate. No one expected that. No one saw it coming.
Oh my god. Rob almost hyperventilated.
Yeah.
That's a lie. He hyperventilated. And he went mute for a couple minutes, and we didn't know where he went. And then he came back, and he is like, I literally screamed.
I was pretty much murphing. I was screaming into a pillow to make sure I wouldn't wake up anyone. But if I recall correctly, my words, the moment that came up was, "They can't be serious."
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're serious.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure I was yelling that same phrase over and over into my pillow for about 2 minutes while the Marks were like talking over it, and I had my mic muted. But yeah, this is certainly something I don't think anyone would have expected from Smash, because we're talking about, number one, it's a Sony IP. Number two, it's from an RPG that has never crossed over with Smash before.
Mhm.
So we're all looking at this, and we're just sort of like, I never would have expected this to happen. Yet at the same time, I could totally see this happening. Like I can already figure out what a couple of move sets for Joker could possibly be. His final smash is going to be all out attack. Like I can say that without.
I mean,
Mark with a
yeah.
C, you've played the game a little bit, so you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm super hyped for this. It weirdly makes sense. Like you're right. Like even though the likelihood of something like this happening seemed very low, it was like, oh, they would work in Smash though, or like Joker would work in Smash. It just like kind of seems like a nice fit. And yeah, you're right about the all-out attack because that is such a like stylish finish that it does, and that would be just like exactly the type of thing that a Final Smash could use to make it really like when it like silhouettes the character that gets hit in the background and shows like the blood spurting out and stuff like that's perfect.
It's totally a Smash thing. Go ahead.
Is
Chris.
Persona 5 on Switch?
No, but that has led a lot of people to rumor.
Maybe this is what it means that it'll eventually come to Switch.
Well, yeah. So that's what Rob was initially thinking. He's like, oh, Persona on Switch, cool. It only seems right. But one other thing that this announcement led to was, I think Reggie said, I think it was after they revealed Joker. Maybe it was before that. Every DLC character that they're adding into Smash is going to be a character who's never been in the series before, which obviously makes sense because everyone who's been in the series is
everyone's here.
But,
yep,
they're already there.
Considering Persona is a game that's not even on a Nintendo system yet, or was there?
Or currently,
DS, right? There was.
Yes,
DS
there were Persona games on the DS, but Persona 5 wasn't counted yet.
So you've got this character who hasn't been on a Nintendo system coming to the Nintendo system. It really just opens up so many doors, and all I gotta say is bring Sora.
I knew you'd say that. 2019 is the year of Kingdom Hearts 3. It has to happen, right?
It has to be, and obviously, final form is going to be his ultimate smash or final smash. It's got to be.
You gotta really think about it. It's like
of course.
The fact that they could do something like this for an RPG like Persona. It like why not go to Kingdom Hearts? They have Final Fantasy character. They have Final Fantasy 7. They have Cloud in there.
And even more so now because Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in a month and a half, so it'll line up perfectly with one of the other 4 DLC slots that are going to be coming up in Smash. Which is very cool.
That would be so lit.
People are gonna go crazy if that does indeed happen. And I for one look forward to everything the internet breaking down when it happens.
100%.
That was excellent. But yeah, that was certainly an announcement for Smash. But speaking of Smash literally came out about 2 hours after the Game Awards ended.
And I think they made note of that several times that it was coming out in just a few hours.
Just a few hours. Wink, wink. Yeah.
My man Jeff.
But yeah, Smash.
Oof.
I love it,
man. Hit the ground running. Like, yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on it? What do you guys got? Open the floor for debate here. What do you guys got?
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, I've been playing. To be honest, I haven't played an insane amount of the spirit mode. I was just like enamored with just getting into Smash and just doing Smash and fighting people. And I was getting some characters that way. But now with the whole new spirit mode where you got to go like fight spirits and everyone turn into a spirit and all that kind of stuff. It's really fun. The story is really cool. I didn't expect the story to take like as serious of a tone as it did.
Right.
But man, I'm having a blast. I fucking love Smash Bros, man. It's so.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wasn't planning on buying it, at least for a little while, just because I was gonna try to play some other stuff first, and then the Friday night. So it came out on Friday, but Friday night I went to my friend's house, and he basically threw like a little party, and he bought Smash, and we like ate pizza and then started playing it. And while we were eating pizza, I went to the vault and played all the fucking Sonic music for us to like eat pizza to. And like everything about it was like, oh yeah, I remember why I love this so much. And then the next morning I broke down and bought it because I needed it. And that's like the best thing about Smash. It's like comfort food. You know what you're getting, but it's always like so good no matter what.
Yeah.
And the other cool thing about it is that I was surprised with how much I'm liking that spirit mode, the World of Light mode, and how long it is. Like I've been
Oh my god.
playing it a lot, and it's like
Mhm.
I don't think I'm even halfway done. It
plays
extensive.
like a surprisingly good RPG. Like I'm surprised at the fact that I'm talking about a Smash game like it's an RPG, but it has all the mechanics there. It has a world map. It has stickers that you have to equip in order to get buffs and strengths or to debuff the enemy, and give you special abilities. And it gives you the ability to power up that equipment. And like, I'm very surprised at that fact. Like I wasn't expecting to see the single player mode work the way that it does, but I for one am actually really glad that it works this way. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to have to go through and unlock all 74 characters.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I know you sound disappointed by this, Mark, but at the same time, it's like you have all of these stickers that you get to do things with, and I just really like that concept. It really grew on me as we went along. But again, clearly, I guess I'm not in the. Not everyone agrees.
So far, I think I've unlocked about maybe 15 to 20 characters. I didn't get them all through World of Light. I got a few of them just from, once I guess after you've played enough matches, boom, person shows
Appears.
up,
Yep.
and it's like I noticed that the characters that I've gotten from a new challenger approaches have been characters that I've been more wanting to play than the ones that I've unlocked through the World of Light mode. Like I took MarC's path at the beginning, and it took me so long to find a character that I wanted to actually play, and that's the Inkling. And you don't get the Inkling until you get to like the very center, which can take a long time depending on how many of the interim battles you do. And
you gotta go around too, because there's like a front gate, but you can't get through that gate.
Oh my god, there's so many different ways to go through everything, and different characters will open up a different route that you could take to get places. And
can I ask you a question?
Very fun. Go for it.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but talking about the way your character's unlocked, I have a question. What characters have you unlocked through just a challenger approaches so far? Because I have a theory.
So
or at least some of them.
So I got Ice Climbers.
Okay.
From that, I think I actually got the Inkling from challenger approaches. So it's weird because if you unlock them from challenger approaches, it doesn't actually unlock them in World of Light. But if you unlock them in World of Light, you unlock them normally
everywhere.
Too.
Yeah.
So I had to unlock Inkling twice. I
have a question. Have you unlocked King K. Rool?
Not yet. And
have you unlocked Sheik?
Yes.
I unlocked Sheik from World of Light.
Because I think that the characters you get from playing regular Smash just by random encounters, I am almost 100% positive that is random. The characters that pop up there are no, because listen, I got King K. Rool as like my second character.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense then, because I think the first one I unlocked was Ice Climbers, and I saw Ice Climbers, and I was like, I don't fucking want to play the Ice Climbers. But
my first one was Ness, and I got him through. Yeah, exactly. I think it's random. I think it's random.
I got Ness at one point as well. I unlocked Ganondorf, but guess what? Ganondorf kicked my ass, and now I don't know when I'm gonna get Ganondorf again.
Well, he should show back up because
he will show back up. Yeah,
there's a way. Yeah. There's a way if you
there's
go
a
to
way. I forgot what it's called.
On the, how there's the main menu and each section is color coded, the blue color. If you go to that, there may be a new icon in like the bottom right, and it lets you re-challenge characters that beat you when you're challenging to unlock them.
Yeah. But it doesn't show up right away. It doesn't show up right away.
It's gonna prompt you. It's gonna prompt you and say, "Oh, this is now available," and then you go over to that little. It's like a gate, like a gold gate in the bottom right corner.
Yeah,
and it will.
So it's not always available as soon as you lose. Basically, I think you have to find one more encounter, and then it'll show up, and you get to fight the previous encounter, something like that. I've noticed that too because Ike keeps kicking my ass.
But I think it's super interesting that they randomized it.
Yeah, It came again. There are two ways to look at this. I personally I like it just because it keeps things fresh and not everyone gets has the same experience. It's individualized. I like that.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Rob? Now that not Rob, Mark. Now that we pretty much agree that it's probably random.
Well, then that means I don't know when I'm ever gonna get to play fucking K. Rool and
True.
Incineroar, and those are the characters I really want to play the most. Besides Inkling, because I got the Inkling and I was like, this is great. I'm gonna play as Inkling, but I hope I get them soon because from what I've seen, King K. Rool is overpowered as fuck and never
He's
dies.
so strong. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
There are
just
so many
unlocked him.
characters. Oh, wow. We all stepped on each other. Go ahead.
I stepped on you. I'm sorry.
Ouch.
You okay?
Owie!
Clink.
It's all right. I think I'm okay.
It's the sky.
You were close.
You were close. Yeah, we're quoting Pokemon Snap right now, but that's fine. I do want to see what Incineroar is like, to be honest. And I hope I unlock him soon. But I like the randomized just challenger approaches if you're playing the game because it's kind of exciting. You don't know who you're gonna get next.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
one thing I think we haven't approached yet. Has anyone tried classic mode yet?
I have.
Yes.
I haven't done it yet.
I've played through classic mode a couple times now.
Classic mode's pretty cool. I like how the final boss is something completely unrelated. So I was doing MarC's classic mode, and his final stage involved the dragon from Monster Hunter. I'm just like,
That's
it's Monster Hunter.
Really?
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
The
So-
bosses are not your typical Smash bosses. They're like some boss from another franchise.
Do you still fight Master Hand?
Okay, so
I found him. Go ahead. Mark.
I can speak to that. So I played through it twice. The first time I played through it, I think I played through it with Lucario. And something that's really cool is that each fighter has like a theme
A themed
for-
route. Yeah.
for all the characters they fight along the way. So Lucario is a fighting type Pokemon. You fight like Ken, Ryu, and you fight like a
Right.
bunch of other like brawler type characters. And then that one ended with me fighting Master Hand. And then I played through it again, and then my final boss was Master Hand and Crazy Hand. So
Question
They're-
mark.
they're
Sorry, I
there.
got to butt in. But what was your intensity at that point? Was it like 8.5?
no, I started at like intensity 2, and then by the end it was only like intensity 6
Huh. That's
because
weird.
I'm not super good at the game.
Okay, I was wondering what triggers the appearance of Master and Crazy Hand, because I never got him in any of my I played with a few characters. I never got him with like a couple, like with MarC. I didn't get him with Inkling, but I played with Lucina, and then I got Master and Crazy Hand. I'm like, but my intensity was like 8.5. I'm like,
I
wait.
think
so
the
that's
second
really high?
time I played through it as Ryu because I unlocked Ryu right after my route with Lucario, and I fought Master and Crazy Hand alongside Ken, and it was pretty
Really?
pretty cool. Pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
Really cool.
I really enjoyed it.
But yeah, I think so. That's the thing about Smash in general, though. If I'm just wrapping up here, is like all these game modes have something for everyone, and I think that leads it to be very, very accessible. Again, this is a very perfect example, even for MarC with the C, since he wasn't even planning to play it to begin with, and still having fun with it. I think this is like one of the most accessible Smash games yet. Agree?
Mm-hmm.
I would say
Yeah,
so.
I would agree.
I definitely agree.
It's-
Quick
feels
before we move
complete.
on from Smash, are you guys maining who you thought you'd main?
No, because I haven't unlocked them yet.
Yeah, I
For the
can't
most
really. I don't really know yet because I
Are you
just
still
got
finding?
Simon. I just got Simon, which I am hoping that I like a lot, but I have
Jealous.
to give him more of a try.
Mhm.
Did you unlock him from Challenger Approaches?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Me, for the most part, yeah. Like Inkling as the new character, I've got a good hand of how she handles. She's just very lightweight, which I guess I should.
Yeah.
I mean, go figure. But I pretty much enjoy like using her as a character. It's just a matter of really nailing down the combos.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And for the most part, Lucina acts the way that I expected her to, which is great. And I still haven't unlocked Palutena or any of the other characters that I've made before. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's all excellent. So, wait, sorry. I also have to close up with just one other thing about Smash. About World of Light. Have you guys noticed the difficulty spikes randomly?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I figured it. I figured out the reasons why. But if you, MarC, it sound like you had something to say.
I was just going to speak on that real quick because when I started World of Light, I was playing and I was breezing through a bunch of levels, and then I got to this one level where you fight the Echo Fighter for Olimar,
Yep.
and
I know what you're talking
so
about.
so so all the stages have different gimmicks to them, and this one had a lot of food drops with the opponent character having like a gravitational pull for food, and every time he ate he got stronger, so he kept wrecking me over and over and over, and I was like, what the fuck is going on, and why am I getting absolutely waxed by this? But eventually I realized that there's a fucking power level for each level, so I'm assuming they're
Yeah.
what they did was they didn't want you to just go through and plow through everything, because then you'll have all the different special abilities to unlock all the different areas that you can skip to throughout the course of the board. So I guess they're trying to get you to, work your way around, and then once you get good enough spirits, you go back and then you clear it out again.
Item. Yep. I was really so MarC with the C, you mentioned that you wanted to clear every single part of like a section of the map before moving on. I really wanted to do that too, but I got to certain stickers like in the base, and I was, for example, and I just there was just one sticker I couldn't clear, and just sort of like, it's not worth it. My power level's too low. I can't beat this right now. So I had to let that go. So clearly that kind of mindset won't work unless you're really, really stringent about it. Because
I had
some of
like
those
a funny
difficulty
thing
spikes are
happen
Go
that
ahead,
made me
MarC.
learn to stop being so stubborn about that, because at first I totally was being stubborn about it. But
Mhm.
I was playing one spirit fight, and it was for it, if you guys are Metal Gear fans, the boss was the sticker, and so what it was like a Zero Suit Samus and like this like gray silver outfit, spot on. It was like nice little touch from Nintendo to do that. But the fight was set up so that it was on a Final Destination version of some kind of like jungle-ish level, right? And you were fighting Zero Suit Samus on it, but the floor was poison. But there was,
oh my god.
But here's the thing: there were no raised platforms, so it was literally like you can't not be be damaged by poison constantly, because you can't jump on any platforms. Everything is covered in poison. So I kept trying, and she was also like very strong, like way too strong for some reason. She was kicking my ass. And so I finally gave up, and I was like, okay, I'll just go do it later.
You need to get a sticker.
I was doing a bunch of other ones, and I found a sticker, or I found like a spirit that basically made me immune to poison, and then I went back and I beat it. It's like, oh, you have to like use the support spirits in like a kind of like rock paper scissors kind of way almost, so that you counter the thing that will just make it impossible for you to beat it. So if you think about it that way, it helps a little bit.
Yeah, because I did notice you get some things that are like I've gotten poison resistance. There's one that there's a fog level where you can get a spirit that clears the fog.
I still need one for lava resistance. I need one of those.
If you went the Marth route, there's a bunch that you can get for lava resistance along that route.
I probably overlooked them.
But
I should go back. Yeah.
I've got a question. Have any of you guys unlocked Sonic yet?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I did.
Challenger approaches?
Last night, Challenger approaches. I got Sonic. I was so hyped.
Cool.
Did you unlock the nice Sonic that we all know, or the muscular furry Sonic that was just revealed to us?
I thank God. I thank God every second that I did not unlock the weird human-looking shadow of Sonic that I found.
It doesn't have fur then.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but yeah, no, not that one. Thank Jesus.
Chris, hopefully they release that as a spirit. in an
Oh
update.
God, please, anything but that.
Oh my god,
Like-
guys! I'm looking at it again right now. It's fucking ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's
This is the first time you've seen it, right?
I mean, yeah, it is. It
today.
looks like those legs are definitely human legs. And
Why do they have fur? Like,
I don't
what are
know.
they doing?
it's
like,
just, is
I
this
don't
Detective Pikachu, but the Sonic movie?
Listen,
And of course, it's directed. It's from the producer of the Fast and the Furious. He's a fast animal. Oh, god damn
Oh,
it!
He only makes
wow.
fast movies.
God, I hope he's mad too. So he's fast and furious. That's gonna be
Oh
Oh,
my
wait.
God.
He's probably gonna have to talk about family at some point, right? That's the
I mean,
God.
Fast and Furious isn't about the racing; it's about the family. Sonic has a family. He's got Tails. He's got Red Sonic. He's got Red Tails, whatever they're called. You know what I'm talking
You
about.
mean Knuckles?
That one?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, red tails.
Come on,
He's
That's
not
his name.
Red Sonic. He's Knuckles. They're completely different.
And
Knuckles the
Knuckles Sonic.
echidna. He's not even a hedgehog.
But
Don't forget. I was gonna make a
Mm.
terrible Fast and the Furious joke, but I'm not gonna do it. Continue.
no, you're not. Okay.
Listen, I would like to hear it.
I was gonna.
You're really putting on the
You know
spot,
what? You know
aren't
what, mate? Let's. If you're already laughing right now, let's not go there.
What's the human
That's a bad sign.
Robotnik gonna look like? Like who's
Oh
gonna
my
play?
God.
Can it be? Can they just make it really ridiculous? Make that Danny DeVito since we didn't get him in Detective Pikachu.
It really should be.
That
Oh
would
my
be
god.
hilarious.
That would actually look pretty spot on.
But he has to be like layered on. He has to be like sitting on somebody else's shoulders while he's acting.
Danny DeVito as Eggnog.
But look, like, why? I still don't understand why they had to make Sonic in particular a live action film. Sonic doesn't have a plot, even.
Listen,
Why does it need to be live action?
like
He's trying to be fast and furious, and that's the plot.
It means nothing to me.
And he's gonna
And
eat
so
a chili
what-
dog at some point.
Like, I think
What?
about the artwork. Oh, well, that's Sonic's thing.
Wait,
The whole chili
Are
dog
we
thing.
just gonna let the chili dog comment go? He's gonna eat a chili dog at some point. Can we just
That's
start?
Sonic's thing, though. That's Sonic's thing. It's
Oh, is
just
it?
Eating,
He
yeah,
eats chili
it's
dogs?
eating
Oh,
chili dogs.
I
It's his
thought that was
favorite
way.
food.
I thought that was way funnier than it actually was.
is
Oh,
that
man.
what gives him his super speed?
Look,
Yes, he's
I don't
running
know.
to the bathroom post chili dog.
Oof.
Sonic chili
yeah.
dog,
So-
a hot
oh,
dog
shit.
served in a bun and topped with chili sauce. Sonic's favorite, a jumbo frank slathered in spicy chili.
Oh,
Did you just read that from a description somewhere?
If you Google search Sonic chili dog, it's like preview that pops up
Oh God. Okay. Well,
from
there's something
the
I didn't
Sonic
know.
News Network.
Oh God. We're gonna have way more to say about this once actual artwork comes
so,
out.
so
I know.
hold on.
Save it
I
for
have
that.
a question to follow up with Rob's question with like basically who asked for this, but like. but in all honesty,
So true.
do any of you guys here look back at Sonic as being some really nostalgic character for you? Because he's never really been super nostalgia for me.
I 100%
I mean, it
agree.
depends on where you're coming from.
Like-
Personally, like I know it was one of the front leaders for the Genesis, like
Right,
per se,
Right.
But also personally, as a kid growing up, when I was in an after-school program, the only things that like the teachers would let us play is like these CD games, and those CD games would have Sonic 2 on them. And it was just like me playing that with a bunch of the other kids in the program. So it is certainly a little nostalgic for me, although we were playing on a keyboard, and that was kind of weird playing a Sega game on a keyboard as a kid.
How old
But I
are you?
digress. 8, 8,
Listen, Listen,
13,
Mark,
you know.
Mark and I were only playing Carmen San Diego
Yeah,
when
it's true.
when we were 8 and sitting in computer class.
I mean,
so-
look,
true.
Carmen
If-
San Diego
if
is
they wanna
also
make-
getting a live action on Netflix.
That's
so-
true. That is-
then
yeah.
that is a-okay because that's
Is it though?
nostalgia for me. No, probably not.
Yo,
Wait,
you
I'm-
guys know. Go ahead, Mark. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just thinking about my experience in computer class, and mine is fucking Age of the Empires 2. And whatever
That's
happened
awesome.
to those games, man, they were so good.
You got to play
Yeah, where did
strategy
those
games
go? That's a good
in
question.
computer
actually.
class. That's great.
Yeah, I played
All I
Age
ever
of the
had in
Empires
computer
2.
Oh, I
If
ever had
if I teach a
class with
computer
stupid
class-
Mavis Beacon typing.
Oh,
things.
Mavis Beacon, yes.
Mavis Beacon.
I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that. That goes back to left shift, right shift, but that's
And no one ever uses the right shift.
no one
am I
ever.
right?
No
well,
one ever
except for
uses those.
certain people, I suppose. But
But I mean, I don't want a Sonic movie. It doesn't pull at me the same way Detective Pikachu does.
why?
And,
I was gonna ask why.
Because
They're both furry, right?
are you telling us something, Rob?
No, I'm not. I'm just laying out the common
Hey.
characteristics.
Hey.
But it's like because when we were children, Pokemon were cute and cuddly, and we all wanted our own Pokemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what Detective Pikachu is going to be. It's like, it's a world as if there were Pokemon in it. I never wanted Sonic to be in my world.
But when we were kids, we had the Sonic the
Especially-
Hedgehog cartoon, and
Especially
that was cute
Yeah,
and cuddly.
not a Sonic that has human legs.
Well, we all know what happens when Sonic is around human beings because we all know at least a little bit about Sonic 06, correct?
Oh God! Oh God!
And now
Sonic-
it-
try
so
not
what it
to remember
seems-
that,
yeah, I know.
please.
What it seems
Sonic
like
06?
from- Oh yeah, if you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
if you're not familiar, do
You wanna
yourself
fill
a
'em in?
favor. Well, it's just
You want to fill him in? You want to actually
Okay,
say
it's a
this, or do you
game-
want to
it's a-
say keep it
yeah,
out of?
okay. In brief, it's a Sonic game on the I think it's on GameCube or
PS3 and Xbox 360.
oh wow,
Yep.
oh, the
Mhm.
Xbox
Even better.
360. Okay, but it's a game where it's a 3D Sonic game, but the story premise is like Sonic falls in love with a human woman. But he's like little like 3-foot ass Sonic. It's so weird, but it's also like a very bad game. Like the game doesn't work
It's
very
badly.
well.
It's poorly coded for one.
Yeah, but and I think there's like a scene of him like kissing this woman.
Oh, they kiss.
So
Oh,
bizarre.
God, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for ruining your purity. Okay.
But so from the posters that were revealed, there's one where Sonic is sitting on top of the Golden Gate Bridge, which means he's gonna be in California. He's gonna be with some of those California girls. Maybe he'll fall in love in this movie.
Hey,
Yeah.
maybe it'll make it more believable.
Yeah.
And they needed to give him the human legs.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
That just gave me a thought.
Uh-huh.
If it's going to take place in California, down in
Mhm.
Silicon Valley, is it safe to assume that Sonic might be a human in this movie, but is genetically modified into Sonic?
Ooh, I don't know.
God.
I don't like the idea of that.
I
at
don't
all.
like the idea of that either, but it like when you look at that poster and you see those legs,
Oh, wait a minute. Guys, wait a minute. I thought this was ringing a bell because I forgot that this piece of news existed. We were
Oh,
talking
no.
about Robotnik, right? Do
Jim
you guys know
Carrey,
who's
right?
playing? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
What?
my god.
I forgot about that part.
Alright,
I
I'm
forgot
fine.
It's
about
destined
that
to
part.
fail. Destined to fail. Now that Jim oh no.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
But
All right.
the
Great.
fix is
Sorry to
in.
break your news.
Oh boy.
Well,
Well,
fuck me. Fuck me
y-
then.
Yep. And with that being said, also fuck the additions to season 7 of Fortnite.
Oh my god.
So if first thing I have to start with is when we were watching the Game Awards, they announced that in Fortnite they were removing Risky Reel, and that was the first thing about season 7 that got me super tight because Risky Reels is my favorite drop, and they replaced it with something that has the potential to be really cool. But guess what? There's nothing there yet. So it's
Still? It's pretty much-
it's still just a like 10
The
by
block.
10 concrete block, and that really left a bad taste in my mouth, along with some other things that I know Chris has a lot of problems with.
Yo, so before getting into those things, why would they need to destroy one of the most coveted places in Fortnite just to put a fucking cube like a square? There's
Yeah.
so much space that you could use to put a goddamn square. Why does it have to be
anywhere
there?
else?
They-
Anywhere.
And even more so, you put it in such a place. You didn't put it central to the map. You put it in the furthest corner northeast in the map. So it's not even like you could have some interesting fight there in the late game where everyone will see it. You'll only see it if you drop there immediately. So
You know what? They probably did that because they thought it was in a high traffic area. What they don't understand is that it was a high traffic area because Risky was there.
What kind of stupid decision is that? What
And
else is around
foolish.
there?
and I mean it's
Houses.
Why else would you go there?
so like the thing is there's so much potential because they're gonna put fan created stuff from the creative mode onto that square.
As long as it's not
Which is
copy and
super cool.
copyright.
But like, what is it like? Risky Reels was already good enough. You could have taken that square and put it anywhere else. There's a nice motel you could have gotten rid of instead of Risky Reels.
Yeah, for real.
That's true.
You could have put that smack down in the middle of Dusty, Tilted, and the lake, and that would have been right in that
Dude,
empty,
right in the middle of Tilted. Tilted
You know,
is so large. You could have just taken a block out
and
of
you
that.
already destroyed one of the buildings in Tilted so many times it would only make sense.
That's true.
That's
As
very
you
true.
can tell, I feel very passionately about this mishap.
Well, you've got more mishaps that you feel passionate about, right? We're talking about snow and ice. We're talking about
See, that's not even
zip
that's not
lines
the
that go the
problem.
wrong direction.
That's the bullshittest thing of the bullshit. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
The zip line or
The zip line. The fact that you can defy gravity and go upwards a mountain on a zip line. That's bullshit. That's such bullshit.
And as if that's not bad enough, you can also chain jump on the zip
my
line.
god, I hate it.
You can go from going one direction on it to jump, turn around, and now you're going the other way. Make it one way,
Like
please.
without jumping off of it.
No,
can
you
keep
jump
going
up,
back and-
turn around. You jump up, turn around, and then you
And
go
then
the
you
opposite
go the other way.
direction. And you just keep
Oh,
doing
oh,
it
oh.
over and over and
Yeah.
over. And also, guess what? It glitches. So sometimes you don't actually stay on when you're doing that. So you'll fall from extreme heights. That happened to me the other
Huh.
day. Ugh.
Ouch. I'm sorry.
And
it's
zip
like-
line should be one directional.
And
Fuck them for putting it two directional.
and zip lines are so like prevalent across the map. Like it would make
Mhm.
sense for there to be zip lines over in the snow mountain region because it's snow. You can make it like a ski lift or something like that, and then it makes a little bit more sense. But you have zip lines literally going from every which way, from every mountain to every base of the mountain, from this
It's
area
all
to that
over
area.
the map.
And
It's ridiculous.
and it's because they added something else in that's equally bullshit, and that's planes. Planes are everywhere. I don't mind them being there because they're not super bullshit, but there's just enough bullshit related to the planes that makes it annoying to encounter. Like you can take a plane and drive through the entirety of Tilted Towers, and your plane won't blow up.
Yeah. If you drive your plane into something, it needs to explode and break into pieces. Like I really can't deal with that. At least if anything bricking up, if it drives through a wooden structure once, it should make it. But the fact that you can drive through literally anything with a plane and it doesn't stop and it's fine.
It doesn't damage the
that's-
plane at all. Like it doesn't do like small amounts of damage or anything.
No, I haven't seen it, and I don't think I saw any indicator that
Yeah,
they
that's
were
pretty. That's
adding
pretty. That doesn't make any
bad.
sense.
Yeah.
in the most recent patch. What they did add though, which is nice, is that if you blow up a plane while someone's in it, they do take 25 damage, which it's nice that there's a negative aspect to being in the plane until it blows up. But before that, there was just you ride that plane until it either blows up or you decide you can't
To
be in it
leave.
anymore because the circle's too small.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just not penalized for it. Wow. Okay. That's
Yeah.
really not well thought out.
And
And
there's
This
a
isn't even
lot
the
of
end of the list,
planes.
is it?
There's a lot of planes. Like planes spawn in groups of like 3 or 4. And I think even over in Frosty Flights, which is one of the new areas that's actually like an airfield, there's like 5 or 6, which would make sense. But everywhere else, there's still like 4 to 5 different fucking planes, and it's ridiculous.
And I don't even think that like is anywhere close to the bullshit that is the sword that they just
Oh,
added into the game.
So
I've not
Hey.
seen it. Tell me about it.
Yeah, neither
they
have I.
added the sword in, what was it, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
And if you guys remember, when there was the Thanos event in Fortnite. That's what this is. They added and as if there was any creativity here, they called it the Infinity Blade to go along with the Infinity Gauntlet.
I think Epic makes a game called Infinity Blade.
Yeah,
Is
it was
it
based
really?
on their previous IP, which they actually rescinded all of their apps on the App Store for Infinity Blade, which got a lot of people upset. But it's based on a game that they had before.
So maybe they are vastly creative, and
it was just a coincidence, Mark.
And I just don't know what I'm talking about. But it doubles your health and your shield when you pick it up. So you go from 100 100 to 200 200. You can jump like 50 feet,
ridiculously high and ridiculously far.
Really high, really far. You have a spin slash as your main attack, so it's not even like you focus one person and you slash at them. If there's 3 people around you, you're spinning in a circle and you're hitting everyone for damage.
Oh, like Link. Okay.
It increases your movement speed. For every kill that you get I think health back. I think it's just like it is in the pop-up cups. And every time you break a tree or a building, it one-shots it, and it apparently drops the material that you would have gained from pickaxing it in one bunch, so you can easily farm. You could still build while you have the sword. The only downside to it is that you're not allowed to have any other equipment in your inventory, and it drops it if you have equipment when you pick the sword up.
Mm-hmm. Does it stay? Do you keep the sword for as long as you're alive, or does it disappear after a while?
It stays for as long as you have it, and I think when you die, someone else can pick it up. I was playing a match before in the pop-up cup that's currently out, and it was down to me and one other person, and guess what the other person had?
Oh, gee, a sword?
The sword, and
you have no shot.
And he just walked over to me. Walk is obviously a misnomer. He launched over to me, and that was all she wrote.
It's ridiculous.
So I think a lot of people. I think the counter argument. I don't think it's true. Is the counter argument would be if you're holding the sword, isn't everyone basically aiming for you? Then doesn't that actually make it
because you don't show up on the map as having the sword. You can only be seen having the sword if you're in the line of sight of someone else. So it's not like, oh, you have the sword, everyone can see where the sword is on the map. It's not like that at all.
Now, granted, you can hear the sword from very far away.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter because you move so fast with the sword and you jump so far that no one is ever going to kill you in a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-2 battle unless they hit you with 4 headshots to the face, which is not going to happen before I slash you with my sword one time.
What's the range? What's the range of the sword though? Like, how close do you have to be to hit?
It's a long fucking sword.
It is. It's big.
It's probably the length of a Fortnite character.
It's longer. Wow. I would say it's like a character and a half.
Wow, that is pretty long.
It is long. It's annoying, and it shouldn't be in normal mode.
Let me put this in a little bit more perspective before we continue. But I played about 5 matches the other night after the sword came out. We won one of the matches. The 4 other matches that we lost were essentially we got beat by the team that had the sword. And then the one match that we won because the 4 of us with another team took down the guy with the sword. Then I picked up the sword and killed 3 of those 4 guys with it. So it's overpowered and ridiculous. It's stupid. And I don't understand why they thought it was a good idea. So
is the community also saying the same thing about it?
Oh, the community fucking hates it.
I was gonna say, you've got your pulse on the Reddit, Mark. What are they saying?
There is a lot of vitriol being spit around on that subreddit about how the sword is not a good thing for this game. And for once, I actually agree with them.
Yeah.
How many positive feedback is there?
A lot of
What's the ratio?
So It's probably about 99-1 in favor of the sword being bullshit and not belonging in the normal game. And the one person that will always, fight for it is, oh, but everyone says stuff is overpowered, and then 2 weeks later it's not overpowered anymore because people counter it. This no. This
No.
is different. This is 100. This is 100% different because they gain health back for every kill, and it's really easy to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, this sounds like it wasn't well thought out. Really, the solution to this, they should have just made it an LTM.
Well,
They should have just had it in its own game mode and not having the every single match, and then people
that's
play
what
it. So
that's what makes no sense about it. If you want to make it an LTM, what you should do is put 4 different swords on the map, and then you have a giant sword fight. That'd be great.
Oh yeah,
4 different
Adventure of the Four
swords,
Swords.
4 different teams, and each team starts off in the area that one sword is, and you have to fight to the death. That would be pretty sick.
Sounds good to me.
So what
Also,
you're basically saying it's Four Swords Adventures.
yes, but also
reference.
thinking about how the sword is kind of, I don't know why, like, we thought that was a good, like, we don't see how they could have thought that was a good idea. Let's look at everything we just talked about. Season 7, the staples so far are planes, they suck. Zip lines, fuck those. And the sword, ridiculous. Like, why would they make all 3 of those changes at once?
Yeah.
So are you saying that this is quite possibly the worst season so far?
Hey,
No,
everything they've
I
introduced.
love the skins. I love the areas.
the
Those
map
3 main
is
changes.
the map I
and
would
zip
say
lines.
is the best that it's ever been, minus zip lines, planes, and that stupid fucking sword.
Yeah,
But that's basically
100%.
everything they've introduced in the season, no?
No, the entire bottom left corner of the map is so cool now.
Yeah.
The Winter Wonderland is
It's
so
cool.
lit.
I
It's
get
so
you.
cool.
Literally cool.
Ah, I
Ah,
hate
Gotcha.
you so much. I hate you
But-
so.
but so that's the negative stuff that's going on with Fortnite. But there's some positives that Epic is working on.
Mm-hmm.
And they've revealed recently that they're going to release their cross-platform development tools to all creators so that they can start to implement cross-platform stuff on other games, which is really nice to see.
It shows a level of altruism that you don't often see elsewhere. Because
Yeah.
we're talking about cross-platform. Not many people talk about cross-platform.
Well-
It's fun. It's cool to see that this is becoming the reality now. Go ahead.
Well, Reggie, Phil Spencer, and Sony guy will
Sony guy.
will stand to disagree at the
You
video
know,
game.
that was the weirdest thing. They just like went up there and said nothing.
pretty much.
They were
We're all
trying to
like, we're all
promote
like,
universe-
oh, this means cross-platform. This is exact. Like, there's no reason why they'd open the show with this, but then they didn't announce anything. We're like, what? Why would you even do that?
It was symbolism, Mark. It was
It-
symbolism.
What did
was-
it symbolize?
Unity.
It symbolized that they're all full of shit. Is what it symbolized. But
That's
this is-
100% what it symbolizes.
but this is really neat because this is one of the first big launches into there possibly being more than just Fortnite being a cross-platform game. And I wonder if this was Epic's game plan all along. Probably not, but they can definitely say it was.
Is
They
this
can say it
so? So
retroactively.
this is only for people who are putting their games on the Epic Store, the new Epic Store, right?
Well, so I'll read this little clip. Launching over the course of 2019, these will be free for all developers and will be open to all engines, all platforms, and all stores. So that
Oh,
was
wow.
the first thing
It's
that
very
I thought,
open.
is that it would
Holy
be
shit.
strictly for people developing on or putting their games on the Epic Store, because that would make so much sense. But it looks like Epic is maybe looking out for everyone.
Seems like a genuinely
altruism.
like nice thing to do. Yeah, good for
You don't
them.
see a lot of that these days. I mean, even with the Epic Store itself, like the Epic Store, it's out there to based on the cuts that they're giving. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna cut that topic because I don't know where I'm going with it.
All right. It looks like what it's doing is it's trying to eat Steam's lunch, which it's like kind of putting itself in the position to actually do, because so many people have the client already downloaded, and now they're basically just being like, we're going to give the developers more money than Steam.
Yep.
We're going to offer
They take less of a cut.
Yeah,
we're
gonna have certain games release exclusively on our store now.
Yeah.
We're gonna do all this stuff that generates goodwill with all the developers. Like, Steam should be like shaking in their boots a little tiny, or at least be concerned.
Well, they should be. I mean, they haven't exactly been doing the best work like recently. Talk about Steam reviews and all that fun stuff.
It's actually brilliant on Epic's part.
Yeah.
It's so brilliant.
No, for sure.
Try to take all those people away from Steam just because they know how big Fortnite is, and they're just like, well, what can we do? Like, this game's gonna run out of fuel at some point. Might as well use its height to start a whole other business,
springboard into something completely different, and that's crazy.
Yeah,
and on top of that, they have all these things that they're going to roll out to all developers: cross-platform login, friends, presence, profile, entitlements, cross-platform voice comms, parties, matchmaking, data storage, achievements, and trophies. Like, they can use.
They really thought this out.
They can use Fortnite basically as a beta test for any other feature they could possibly want to add in to for cross-platform. That's insane.
That again, just thinking about it from that perspective really blows my mind. You got to wonder how much of this was, forethought on Epic's part. Do you really think Epic ever sought to actually open up a store before they released Fortnite?
Oh, no.
Fortnite was going to pretty much, it wasn't going anywhere until they released Battle Royale. Now look where they are.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Didn't Fortnite take 7 years to make? They made Battle Royale in literally 2 months. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And then it took over the world.
Yeah.
And it took over the world. Exactly.
Literally.
Yes, it did.
It's just amazing. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see where that all goes. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll actually get true cross-platform on everything.
One day
would be nice. Would be very nice.
It would be wonderful.
Wow.
Oh man.
Well,
alrighty then.
That's that, boyos.
Hey, you guys have any thoughts?
I think we covered quite a broad spectrum of topics here. That was
play
enjoyable.
Pokemon Snap if you've never played it and you have.
And wish for a sequel someday.
And pay attention to what Professor Oak says in it, because it has a lot of wisdom.
And then you'll get all these references.
Of course.
Of course.
Well, all right. That's going to do it for us this time on the Memory Slot A podcast. Now saving. Don't turn off the power.